Hello and welcome. There are very few characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe who have changed as much as Loki. Introduced as a jealous prince, desperate to prove himself, he quickly became one of Marvel's greatest villains, yet by the end of his journey, he had become something far greater than either a hero or a villain. He became the god of stories. For many fans, this transformation seemed sudden or unexpected. But when we look back across Loki's entire journey, we discover something remarkable. This ending was not a departure from his story. It was the destination he had been travelling towards all along. To understand why, we first have to address one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding Loki. For years, Loki was underestimated. He was constantly compared to Thor, and by that comparison, he always appeared weaker. Thor possessed incredible strength, unmatched courage, and the power to command thunder itself. Loki, by contrast, relied on illusion, magic, and wit. Because audiences often judge power through physical strength, many assumed Loki simply wasn't as powerful as his brother. That was never the point. Thor and Loki were never meant to be the same. Thor was raised to become Asgard's greatest warrior. Loki became something entirely different. Even Odin recognized this. While Thor mastered combat and warfare, Loki was taught magic, illusion, and the deeper mysteries of Asgard. His gifts lay not in overpowering his enemies, but in outthinking them. Throughout the MCU, Loki survived situations that should have been impossible. He deceives gods, manipulates armies, steals the Tesseract from beneath everyone's noses, escapes death more than once, and continually reinvents himself. His greatest weapon has never been his dagger. It has always been his mind. What makes Loki truly fascinating is that every defeat teaches him something. Unlike many villains who refuse to change, Loki evolves. His relationship with Thor slowly transforms from rivalry into a genuine brotherhood. His love for Frigga reminds us that beneath his arrogance lies a son desperate to be accepted. His encounters with Mobius force him to confront uncomfortable truths about himself. Sylvie challenges his understanding of love, destiny, and free will. Perhaps most importantly, the time variance authority strips away every illusion he has ever created about himself. For the first time, Loki is unable to hide behind lies or masks. He is forced to ask the question that defines every great story. Who am I? Early in his journey, Loki believed he wanted a throne. He believed power would finally earn him the love and respect he had spent his entire life seeking. But every throne he reached for slipped through his fingers. Only when he stopped chasing power did he finally become worthy of something greater. That is why becoming the god of stories is such a perfect conclusion. In Marvel Comics, the title God of Stories represents a Loki who has moved beyond simply being the god of mischief. Instead of manipulating people for his own benefit, he becomes someone who shapes possibilities themselves. The MCU reaches a remarkably similar destination. At the end of Loki Season 2, Loki is presented with an impossible choice. He can save himself, or he can save everyone else. The Loki we met in the Avengers would never have hesitated. He would have chosen himself. But that Loki no longer exists. Instead, he willingly sacrifices the one thing he always has desired. Not power, not glory, not revenge. He sacrifices companionship. After spending his entire life searching for somewhere to belong, Loki accepts an eternity of solitude so that countless lives across infinite timelines can continue to exist. He finally sits upon a throne, but it is not a throne of conquest. It is a throne of responsibility. That single decision completes one of the greatest redemption arcs in modern superhero storytelling. What makes this ending even more beautiful is how closely it echoes the themes found throughout Norse mythology. Odin sacrificed one of his eyes in exchange for wisdom. He hung upon Yggdrasil for 9 nights to gain the knowledge of the runes. His wisdom came through sacrifice. Thor sacrificed his pride before becoming worthy of true leadership. His strength became meaningful only after he learned humility. Loki's sacrifice is different yet equally profound. He gives up the life he has always wanted. He gives up friendship. He gives up love. He gives up the chance to finally be with those who accept him. He carries an unimaginable burden so that everyone else can write their own stories. It is perhaps the most selfless act performed by any member of Odin's family. This is why I believe Loki was underestimated from the very beginning. People measured him against Thor's hammer. They should have measured him against Odin's wisdom. Loki was never destined to become another god of thunder. He was destined to become something unique. A guardian, not of kingdoms, but of stories. And perhaps that is the greatest irony of all. The god of mischief spent centuries trying to control other people's lives. Only when he learned to let others choose their own paths did he become worthy of protecting every possible future. Perhaps Loki's greatest trick was never fooling Thor, or Odin, or even the Avengers. Perhaps his greatest trick was fooling all of us into believing his story was about becoming a king. In truth, it was always about becoming a guardian, a keeper of hope, a protector of possibility, the god of stories. And in doing so, Loki didn't just find his glorious purpose, he finally became worthy of it. I genuinely think this is one of the strongest themes in the MCU. Odin teaches wisdom, Thor learns what it means to be worthy, and Loki discovers that true purpose isn't found in ruling others, it's found in carrying the burden so that everyone else can live their own stories. It's a beautiful ending that honours the character's entire journey. And with that, thanks for watching, take care, and be well.